Hello friends, I am Kostas and I would like to demonstrate how Ethelia project is working. In the beginning, I would like to make a quick presentation with the details of the use case. And then we will enter to the live session with some demonstration, some explanations, and I guess some discussion. I'm planning, I think, to record from the beginning till the end with no cuts and no breaks. It's a bit tricky for me, but I think I can try and everything will be okay. So let's start with the slides, and you see the map on my screen. And this is due to our presentation is international friendly. Let me explain. I guess you saw my project pitch from Alarcha Valley hiking trip, and now I'm in Kyrgyzia, Bishkek city, pretty nice and very friendly town. Here I have something like headquarters, everything for remote work, laptop, phone, other devices and gadgets, so everything to feel myself comfortable. Anyway, I have an apartment in Moscow, and today we will try to communicate from Bishkek to make a communication between the Bishkek and Moscow. Ethelia project, Ethelia endpoint, is hosted in Germany. Gansenhausen city, it's a Bavaria region. And finally, we will try to commit transactions to the blockchain test network Girly, where the Infura service. Infura, we will communicate with one of the Infura's servers that is located in Ashburn. It's near the Washington, United States. So the case is our demonstration case assumes that we will try to clean up my apartment from a Bishkek. Yeah, I have a smart vacuum cleaner in Moscow. After the cleaning, we will get the response. We send the request for cleaning to Moscow. When the cleaning is ready and everything is okay, vacuum cleaner will send us a response. Okay, guy, I clean it up. Enjoy it. Back to Bishkek. Everything is done from my smart home. Actually, I have a Xiaomi vacuum cleaner and use official Mi Home application to manage it. When the feedback is received, the notification on my phone will be raised, and this notification is handled by third-party application that wraps it to the some new request and send it to Ethelia endpoint. On Ethelia endpoint, we're processing this request, create a raw transaction data to be committed to blockchain, and when everything is okay, we send the data to the Infura endpoint to United States. And Infura actually commits transaction to the blockchain. So that's the model. Now I would try to explain what's happening on Ethelia side. I hosted it in Germany, as I said, and there is, let me open the browser. There is a Fakes website. Fakes is a decentralized content management system for websites, and Ethelia is some kind of extension of Fakes. in perspective from development is just an external module, but now everything is installed and everything is in place and working fine on the Fakes website, so it operates like a Ethelia endpoint alongside a blog, just a content hoster or whatever else. Now it has generic function like a website and Ethelia function like a Ethelia endpoint. It's combined for now. Okay, I understand it's maybe not a good, but it's just an MVP. So on Fake side, we should authenticate before we are sending the requests to Ethelia part. We have admin layer here and use authentication on blockchain. It's some tricky part, and I have a talk about authentication on blockchain. It was given at FOSDEM 2022 conference. There are a link and reference to the talk at my personal website. Also, you can find it in presentation section of the fakes.org. Actually, we use some additional relation on this map. We created specific secure channel from Ethelia endpoint to Moscow, where a few helper servers are located. That's my own data cluster, and on these data servers, local blockchain local network is set up, and it's working and operating just for remote authentication on blockchain. So we have a SSH tunnel from the Ethelia endpoint to Moscow secure private local network or my server. And when you try to authenticate on Ethelia endpoint, request is routed to Moscow. There you authenticate on the blockchain, and with the response you got secure token to work with the Ethelia. Let me show the terminal. I will try to connect to the Ethelia endpoint. Yes, I'm there. Here I have a log from the secure channel, and here we can simply request the accounts on the one of the authentication network nodes. We have two accounts. First is the authentication account. We will use it to pass the authentication on Fakes.org site. And next one is the silent account. As I said, when we got the request from the Bishkek on Ethelia endpoint, we have to create raw data for the transaction on blockchain. This raw data includes some signing operation. We need to sign it with some private key of some account that will be used as a sender when we're committing data on blockchain. We use this account. It's the sender account for our transactions. So to sign the transaction locally, we have to have private key inside our secure network. We're sending the request for signing. It responses the signed raw data that eventually routed to the Infura server. So if you're interested in multi-network signing, you can check my presentation at first Wacom conference, I also explained how it works in few sections of this talk. Links also on my personal site or on Fake's website as well. So let's try to authenticate on Ethelia now. Okay, let's type a password and try to authenticate. It takes a while because we have some handshaking between the local network, between the actual blockchain, because we have to take the account and see how it works, how is it presented or whatever else. So it's also consider the secure channel, it's encryption in live, so take a while. Here are a very trivial and very minimalistic admin panel where we got some information about our tokens, about our authentication account, some statistic on Ethelia traffic, some logs, and data from blockchain. So you see something is here, some events are there. I have a few tests before this presentation, so we have one event from yesterday and two events from today morning. I did it right before this record. So now we have 3 events in a list. So let's try. For now, I would like to go back to presentation. And let's start from the scratch. Now on my phone, I take in a phone, I try to record video. Yes, it started. I'm opening the Mi Home application. As you see, I have a few devices here. I will put this video in a corner of the final presentation. I choose Vacuum Cleaner. And now I will try to make a first request to the Moscow, or where we try to clean some area of my apartment. So you see the map on the screen, and now I choose a zone. We will use some minimalistic zone, just 1 square meter, to be cleaned, and start the cleaning.
Starting zone cleanup.
Okay, cleaning is started. As I said before, I perform a few tests in the morning, so you see the trace from the previous cleaning. So cleaning is in progress. Let's check what will happen after the cleaning. And we assume that after the cleaning we got notification from the vacuum cleaner. This notification, feedback from vacuum cleaner, it will be managed by the Mi Home application and rise a notification on my phone. Yes, cleaning. Let's check what there. Yes, cleaning is done. I got a notification. Now let's check.
Charging.
What's happening with the vacuum cleaner. It's docking. Yes, it's on the dock now. So to catch the notification from Mi Home, I use MacroDroid. It's a smart home automation application that helps you to manage any events from your smart home devices on your phone. Here I have the macro. As you see, it was last activated a moment ago. The macro is pretty simple. If we got a trigger, if we got a notification from Xiaomi Home application, we posting HTTP request to fake site. You see the URL fakes.org API, and yeah, we see that the last notification was sent a minute ago. So let's go back to presentation. We got everything. We got feedback from vacuum cleaner, and then as our macro droid is reported, we send a request to Ethelia. So let's check if we processed there, and maybe we already got the transaction on blockchain. Okay, let's check what's happening here. We're refreshing our event list. Yes, and as you see, we got 4th event in the list. It's done just 3 minutes ago. So this is the payload. We have some information about the event. It's about the application, about the device that sent this event. We got a notification text here, and also we got some details about the device. It's in Russian, but actually it's just due to the localization of my application. So if you use some another locale, you will get the messages in your native language. Also, we got the date of the event. We got some ID, but it's Unix epoch, and we got the topic. It's the name of the macro on my phone. So yes. Now let's see how it works on the public blockchain explorer, how it looks on public blockchain explorer. I open the Etherscan. It's the most popular and most and well-known blockchain explorer for Ethereum. I choose public network girly, and then I go back to my Ethelia service to take the sign-in account. This is sign-in account, and this is account from what the transaction was committed to the blockchain. So let's just push it here, and let's search all available transactions. As you see, I got one transaction 3 minutes ago, and 2 transactions about a half of an hour ago. It's a test before this recording. Yeah, you see this one. This is this one transactions. So let's check the latest, and here we can investigate the payload of transaction. Here we have something in bytecode, but Etherscan gives us ability to check it in UTF. And here you see actually the data that was posted from Ethelia. The date, okay, it's actually session is over. Let's authenticate again. Here we got event ID, some Unix epoch, as I said, date of the event, payload in base 64, and event topic. So let's check. Yes, it's authenticated. Let's check the latest one. 158 on the end. 158 on the end. Date 5/32/52, 53. 5/32/53. Let's decrypt this data. Yes, it's JSON. Let's beautify it. Yes, it's exactly the same that we have here. And the topic, the same topic that we got on blockchain. So this is the public data, and this transaction, we have a block number, we have transaction hash, so it's stored, and this transaction and this data is immutable on a public blockchain. Of course, it could be changed if our smart contract provides such functionality, but for now it's immutable. We send the event and it's stored on blockchain, I think forever. So let's log out. Go back to our presentation. So we prove that the final link and final communication between Ethelia and a blockchain working. We got the list, new transaction in list in our minimalist administrative layer, and also we check the transaction details and transaction payload via public blockchain explorer. Also, we, as you see, we got at some moment of this presentation, we lost our authentication session, and we renew it with a new attempt to log in. So this is quick example, and I think I shortly explained how it works, but in the end I would like to say about some additional points that we will have where the startup will grow and we need to scale it. As you see, we have external providers for hosting and external providers for blockchain node endpoint. So I think in perspective we should manage it by ourselves. We need to create some kind of small data center with a few servers. One server will provide authentication on blockchain. One server will be operated as a web server with a front end, I mean API endpoint, and the third server will operate like a Ethereum node, full node, where we will request and where we will commit the transaction from a web server, from a API endpoint. Of course, we will lose decentralization here, but actually we can also make this system transparent and reliable, because for example, Infura can be under DDoS attack or has a lot of requests per second, and the time of the response will be quite long. For example, it could be a few seconds or whatever else, and in the whole timing of the request from the event source, the latency on Infura could be critical, because we can fall back on timeout or whatever else. So that is the perspective. Also, I would like to show that on fakes we have some debug. Let me authenticate again. Oh no. Let me authenticate again and show how we can test transactions. Actually, I use the vacuum cleaner and a phone to show it like a specific example and specific use case. But we can simply send a request directly from Ethelia endpoint and see how it works and see how it managed by a remote blockchain node. Let's check debug. Here it's just a simple form to send a request directly to the Ethelia endpoint, and here we have a repository of Ethelia module, and here is a sample request. It's JSON. All I need is just to put JSON here, test event. Let's push current date here, and let's put here to Infura endpoint. Yeah, everything okay. Some payload, no matter what is there. Let's submit it. It's working, and finally we will get the event placed on blockchain. So you see, it's about 7 seconds. If we will use own server and own data center, we could decrease this value, I guess, to 3 seconds or less. It's about 2 times faster. So the perspective is to obtain own data center with all services on board. Let's go back to the panel. Extensions. We have 4 events, and let's update it. Let's check what's happening on blockchain. Yes, we got a 5th event. It's blockchain test event with a specific code and specific payload. So that is just for debugging purposes. So let's log out and yeah, go back to the so yeah, I think that's all that I have to demonstrate. MVP is working. There are perspectives for scaling. There are perspectives to add some new function to software. The main perspective is to apply a billing, to add a billing system there, because we need to introduce some paid plans, some monetization for this project, and this is the next step, one of the nearest steps, I guess. And of course, I think we should create own hardware infrastructure. As I said before, it's a small data center. In couple of the billing system, in couple of the some balancing on a front end, because we assume not a one request per hour. We assume maybe a dozen requests per second or whatever else. So also it's a point of investigation how to manage all them and how to how to make them balanced between the endpoints or instances of one endpoint. So yeah, it's also the thing on what we have to keep an eye. But for now, I think everything is ready to the next step and to the project boost. So I hope you enjoyed my presentation. If it was, if I have something that if we have there something not explained or explained not clearly, you can connect me directly and we can call or whatever else, and we will discuss or we will go through these items together. So that's me. Have a great day.